Hey guys, how you doing? DJ Pendergrass here again at OEB Law. Guys, it's a great day. I was able to capture Tim Elrod. Hard man to get, but we have him right here on set. Mr. Elrod, hello, how you doing?
Hey, how are you doing today, DJ? It's good to
Uh,
see you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me for this interview. Have a few questions. I want to be as nosy as possible and dig into Tim Elrod and OEB Law. Is that okay?
Sounds good. Let's go.
Absolutely. So we're getting started. Let's talk about your personal journey. Can you share a bit about your journey into the legal profession and what inspired you to become a lawyer?
I think it started a long time ago when I was in my teenage years. Growing up, my family went through some family law issues growing up, and I got to see attorneys work, and it always inspired me to kind of enter into the area of law. And when I finally got my opportunity to do that, I did it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what motivated you to start and lead this law firm in Knoxville?
So when I knew in law school that I was always going to be one of the guys that hangs the shingle or start your own firm kind of guy. When I got back when I got out of law school and came back home to East Tennessee to Anderson County, I knew I had to make a difference. I got an opportunity with my predecessor, Squire Ogle, who passed some time ago, and took advantage of that opportunity and eventually grew it into the personal injury firm that we are today. And the reason I chose personal injury or helping people who have been injured is because it's very rewarding outside of the monetary gains that you can have. Helping somebody when they're down, helping somebody with not a very big case. Has its own rewards, and that's kind of the fuel that keeps me going.
So, tell me, what's the most rewarding aspect of leading a law firm?
Watching people grow, one of the things that I'm pretty proud of here at our office is the fact that we've had a lot of people come in and be a part of our team. And there's been a few that I've been able to watch go to law school and then come out of law school and go on to be lawyers. And I like to think, I had some hand in that or gave them some guidance that maybe got them through law school. So that's always rewarding. Watching our staff grow professionally, watching our lawyers grow professionally, that's always been rewarding. But at the end of the day, it always comes back to what did you do for the client? How did you help this person? That's the reward that I always enjoy, and that's the what I like to look at.
Absolutely. That's great. So, this law firm has visions and it has a mission. Let's talk a little bit about the law firm visions and the mission, okay? What sets your law firm apart from others in Knoxville? Now, and I know how much respect you have for the other firms and how much, relationships you have with them. But what is it? What sets your law firm apart from the others in Knoxville?
I think it boils down to a simple statement, and it's kind of always resonated with me all these years: is we care and we help people. So in everything we do, we care about what we do. If it's returning a phone call, if it's getting a document out, if it's filing a lawsuit, we care and we want to help people. No matter what type of person you are, what your issue is, doesn't matter to us. We're here to help you with that issue. I mean, that's why, one of the reasons I think our firm's been so successful is we do take it to heart. We know our community. We grow up. We live here. We grow. I grew up here, so it's meaningful to me to care about people and then help people. So if I had a vision and a mission, it would be simply termed that.
Great. So, how does the firm's mission reflect into your day to day work and interactions with clients?
Well, I think it starts when somebody needs the help of a lawyer. They're going to call a law firm, and they have a couple of expectations. One of the expectations is they expect service, as we all do. They
Absolutely.
expect a call back when you're supposed to call back, or when you say you're going to call back, a text or an email. So being responsive coming out of the gate is so very important to build the confidence and trust between the client and the lawyer. As that goes on, it kind of transfers into our staff, our paralegals, and our legal assistants, treating people like their family. I mentioned a moment ago, we care, we help people. Well, we're going to take care of our family. We're going to call them back. We're going to treat them with respect, and that's how it goes into our day-to-day practice. And then, of course, at the apex of all that is when the lawyer has to go to court and try your lawsuit to a jury of 12 people who are also in your community, and that takes a lot of caring. That takes a lot of focus. And by that point in a claim or in a car accident or whatever the issue may be, you've spent some time with that person and you know that person and you're able to better advocate for that person. So, how that transfers into our mission and how we do it day to day, that's kind of what it is, plain and simple.
Perfect. Well, I know you from doing so much in the communities. You're really tied into the communities of East Tennessee. I've seen you pour in. So we want to talk about your community sponsorships. We want to talk about your involvements in your sponsorship. So your firm is known for sponsoring local events and initiatives. Can you share some examples of projects or organizations you've supported in the area?
It kind of goes back into one of my beliefs, and that is, don't just take, give back, because the people you're giving back to are the people who are supporting your firm, who are supporting your business. So that's why I do it, is I believe you should give back to your community. One of the best ways I've found to give back to the community, have a make a meaningful difference at a grassroots level, is through high school football. There's no, when you've done it as long as I have, you know that every dollar that school gets goes to a place that it's needed, and that makes a difference. And people remember that. And when tragedy strikes or something happens, they're going to think of you because you supported them. So when we talk about high school football, when we talk about, just doing some things to bring some entertainment to our community, like sponsoring Hot Wheels, Monster Jam, or any of the wrestling events, or teaming up and partnering with the Ice Bears, that's just a way for us at our core to give back to the community that supports us. And so it's a great relationship we have with East Tennesseans, and I couldn't be prouder to be here.
Well, you pretty much answered a couple more questions that I have within community sponsorships and involvement. However, I know that you can reword it, so I'm going to continue with the questions. And so the next question is, why is community sponsorship such an important part of your firm's identity?
Our community sponsorship and the things that we do in the community ties us to the community, because everybody that works here, our lawyers, myself, we're born and raised in East Tennessee. So again, going back to just that simple thrust of, we believe in giving back to the community, is why we do what we do. How it helps us, it helps us feel good knowing that we've done right in the community. So many times lawyers are dealing with someone's issues or trying to resolve a problem, that we forget that that everybody has lives outside of this. And so if we can make a positive difference in their life, that's what I want to do.
Great. So tell me, how does it align with the values of your law firm? How does your sponsorship align with the values of your law firm?
Well, our sponsorships and our values go hand in hand. For example, if we go and we sponsor a little league rec team playing t-ball or softball, which we've done many times, or just hanging the banner on a rec field where people can see OEB Law is here. This is a place where we know our kids are going to be safe. We know that we're going to have a good time. So it's the same thing with the way we practice law, especially in car wrecks. Someone has been injured because of someone else's not paying attention or something like that. And so when we represent an injured person, we're trying to put their life back together and trying to do right by them. So really, at the end of the day, they're kind of commingled. They're just what we live and breathe.
That's awesome. So what feedback have you received from the communities about your sponsorships?
Well, they absolutely love it. But we don't go looking for the praise. We don't go looking for all that. So many times I've been stopped in the Walmart or the Target or the Kroger, and somebody says, "Hey, I really appreciate what you do for the community." That's payment enough for me.
Yeah,
That when somebody recognizes you and they say, "Hey, just want to let you know we appreciate what you do in the community. It's made a difference." That's all I need to hear, and I'll keep doing it for years and years to come.
absolutely. So give me one specific moment that you could, or a story that you can share about your sponsorship that made a significant impact.
There's really two stories that come to mind, but they're both really the same story, and that is when we first started doing high school football with Mark Packer and Rivalry Thursday. It was a new thing. This is years ago. It was a new thing, and we show up to the school and we're going to broadcast the game. And we had thought, listen, let's make a donation to the school for letting us come out here and spotlight their school and their players and their programs. And so I think it was at Carter. Either it was at Carter. I'm pretty sure it was at Carter High School. I made the donation, and at the time it was only a $500 donation to the home school. And the Carter head coach at the time, I forget his name, came up to me and he says, "Hey, listen, you don't know how much this really helps our program." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" And he says, "We struggle with washing our uniforms after each game because we don't have the budget to get the detergent. So we're going to use this money to go out and make sure that our uniforms are washed after every game." Because you got to
Right.
remember, 10 years or so, 15 years ago, there wasn't no turf fields. It was
Yeah.
grass.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's right.
so that has always stuck with me. And then I got that same type of response from the Midway coach when we went out there with the OEB Law Game of the Week on BBB 12. When we went out there and talking to them good folks, they appreciated it. They've got a specific use. It's spent as soon as it gets in their hand. So those are the type of things that stick with you and just remind you that what you've done is worthwhile. You have made a a real difference, even though it's minor, in that community's life.
That's pretty impressive. I love that. And I love that about you and your law firm. I know you give back. I've seen you do it. I've seen you interact with the babies. You're hugging the mamas and kissing the babies, and I really love that about you. And it shows a lot about who you are as a person as well as what your law firm represents. So that's pretty awesome. Tim, I want to move on a little bit farther. I told you I want to get as nosy as I could. And not for myself. I really want the people out there in the East Tennessee area to really know who OEB Law is. Who is Tim Elrod? What are the things that you guys are doing in the community and what sets you apart? So this is very important to everybody that's going to watch this. And I've seen analytics, and the analytics are saying that, hey, people are looking. So why are they looking? They want to know a little bit more. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that they can get as much information as possible. And why not do it with the leader, of the pack right now. So we're going to get into some challenges and achievements. What has been one of the biggest challenges you faced as a leader in this firm?
Well, I think it's the transition. Let's face it, DJ. The law does not move that fast, and the practice of law and the profession of law doesn't move that fast either. So, over the past, it seems like 10 years or so, transitioning our firm in terms of technology and our accessibility and our transparency is something that we've worked really diligent on. We've made some significant capital investments in our abilities to communicate with people through the website, through portals, through social media, just watching and managing that challenge throughout these years to get it to where we are today. That's an achievement because the technology is always changing and the legal field doesn't always keep up with that, so to speak. So that's been a real challenge to make sure that we're putting our message out there on social media. That's no small task. Making sure your website is responsible or is responsive to what people are looking for. Those type of things. Those are big challenges, and when you represent as many people and have represented as many people as we have over the years, um, that's a lot of people. So you got to be able to answer and be accountable to each one in helping them get where they want to go. So in terms of a challenge and an achievement, I think it has to be the technology.
Awesome. So the achievement. What is the most proud of that you have done, either personally or as a law firm, in that achievement?
Well, um, gosh, I'm pretty shy when it comes to bragging about things. You know, just getting a simple thank you is an achievement for me. Um, I'd rather have a simple thank you than the money any day. Um, but I think that's a big thing for me personally. In terms of an achievement or something of that nature, I've done a lot of things. I've tried a lot of cases. I've helped a lot of people, and it's just rewarding. There's no big fireworks of some braggadocious type of achievement. It's just a simple thank you for me means that I did a good job, and that's what I need to keep going on.
Wow. Uh, I'm speechless, right? I'm never speechless. I got something to say all the time, Tim. that comment left me speechless. And again, it attests to who you are, who I've known you to be outside looking in, right? You're really confirming all the things that I've seen from the outside looking in. So that's pretty awesome. I really love that. I really love that a lot. That's probably the best answer I've received as an interviewer to an interviewee, from sports to legal issues to people just coming out of bad habits to good habits. So I really, really like that, Tim. It really touched something inside of me. So kudos to you for what you do, man. I really like that. And I'm not a lawyer, right? I can't give anybody any legal advice. I just can't do it. I wish I could, but I can't because I'm not a lawyer. I can't do that. But there
Mhm.
are some things that you may be able to answer as a lawyer. And so I want to give some legal advice and insights. What's one piece of legal advice you think everyone should know?
Don't sign anything unless you actually read it. It's a simple thing there. Signing things that you think you understand and you don't understand can kind of put you in a jam. That's one bit of advice. Another bit of advice, especially when you have a car accident, um, you know, go get checked out. Go make sure you're okay. You're not a doctor, just like you're not a lawyer. You can't give legal advice. Well, you shouldn't self diagnose yourself. You should go see a doctor, whether it's an urgent care or your primary care physician, or even go to the hospital. But after an accident, you should go get checked out because you need to take care of your personal health. That's number one. Number two, then think about, am I getting treated fairly by the insurance company? Most of the time, you're not. That's just a fact of life. Insurance companies are in the business of collecting premiums, not paying out on claims. So they're going to do everything they can to kind of devalue what you feel like your harms and losses are. That's when you need the lawyer. And you need to understand that in a car accident in the great state of Tennessee, you have 1 year from the date of that accident to file a lawsuit. Otherwise, you're going to lose that right. And that's not good because your medical bills are going to be piling up. Your lost wages are going to be accruing. Your loss of enjoyment of life is happening. So if you want to get full and fair compensation, hire a lawyer. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. And that comes one of two different ways. Either it comes through a settlement where you make a decision, to be compensated at a rate everybody can live with, or you're just not getting treated fairly. You're not getting full and fair compensation, and you've got to file a lawsuit.
At OEB Law, our home is your home, giving back and helping out whenever needed. OEB Law is proud to be from East Tennessee. OEB Law feels like home.